talk about killing cops in your music.
I don't talk about killing cops.
Sir, let me read from your own song. You talk about killing cops in your own music.
Let me hear it.
I don't think I can do it. I'm not as talented, but I can tell you. You have a song, 100 Guns, where you talk about pump, pump, pump.
Oh, that's
the
a
first
story.
round.
That's a story.
It's about killing a cop. The cops.
So is Godfather 1, 2, and 3. So is Godfather 1, 2, and 3. So is Scarface.
That's
a story. We're not talking reality here. Let's talk about reality.
I just want to know. So you're against any song that talks about or advocates shooting police officers?
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely against that. My best friends are police officers. You know what I'm also against?
I gotta go.
Police officers shooting down black youth.
It's a tradition unlike any other. Thus, in 2007, KRS-One, top-tier MC, went on Fox News, and Sean Hannity spoke ill of hip-hop.
Salome Thomas L. told us he believes gangster rap music is extremely harmful to his inner-city students. So we decided to get Grammy nominee Cameron, who raps about pimping and among other things, and rap producer Damon Dash, a co-founder of Rockefeller Records. Pimping. You got it in your record Purple Haze right here.
With me, I'm just an author. So what I do is I write what goes on in the ghetto. I'm not a liar. So if what I tell you goes on in my album, that's what goes on in the streets of Harlem. Now I'm like a reporter. You look at the news, you don't get mad at the person reporting the news.
What if an 11-year-old kid imitates you, Cameron? What if he uses four-letter words and he develops a lifestyle based upon the street? He gets tattooed. He gets all this.
Okay,
yeah. Well, let me just say, and then you can jump in. Do you feel badly about that?
No, I don't.
Can I maybe interject? If a 11-year-old were to imitate Cameron, what they would be doing is becoming the CEO of their own company, controlling their own destiny, taking a bad situation and making it good.
But see, you don't promote that, and your company doesn't promote that. They promote four-letter words.
We don't promote entrepreneurship. We don't promote positive and ownership of your company. I'm making it cool to be smart.
All right.
I'm making it cool. Wait, let me. I'm making it cool to be a businessman.
It's not about business.
It's about business for you because you feel like it might give you better ratings to portray something negative within the image of hip hop.
It is negative.
It's not negative to be a businessman. It's not negative to take care of the economy around you.
It's negative to make money, Mr. Dash, if you hurt children.
How do you hurt children by promoting to be an entrepreneur and a CEO and to do right by?
Looking at a principle.
For example.
Hold it. You're looking at a principle.
Why you don't want to let him talk? You mad. Where'd you start? Current affair, right?
No, wrong.
Well, you're looking I got dirt on you, doggy.
Cameron,
I'm going to get at you in a minute.
You go ahead. You get at
I'm going to get at you in a minute.
For this network, though?
Did you catch that? Lamar stated his views on police brutality with that line in the song, quote, "And we hate the po-po, want to kill us in the street, faux show." KG.
Please. I don't like it.
It is so wrong. It is so counterproductive. It gives exactly the wrong message.
It is simply politics as usual.
For instance, hip-hop. Hip-hop has done more damage to black and brown people than racism in the last 10 years.
When what they failed to do time and time again is simply listen. And I mean like really, really listen.
This is the problem with the United States. There's no leadership. A leader would say police brutality is an oxymoron. There are no brutal police. The minute you become brutal, you're no longer the police. So what we're dealing with out here, we're not dealing with police. We're dealing with a federally authorized gang. Trayvon Martin was your cure for cancer. Freddie Gray was about to come up with something for planes that when they crash, they never exploded and everybody lives. Had he had a chance to work himself out, he might have come to this conclusion. See, there's no order in the United States. So now there's lawlessness. If you don't really understand the economy of the country, you don't know the laws, you're not an educated voter. And this is what a lot of these candidates are actually banking on. They're banking on the ignorance of American citizenry, which is what I see in these Democratic as well as Republican debates. There's no realness to this. Nobody's studying anybody. Somebody says, kill the Mexicans, yeah! You know what, I think women should get paid more, yeah! Take away everybody's guns, yeah! Nobody's thinking. So if we're not going to have a real discussion about the real state of America, leave me the alone.
But instead of doing so, this is usually their reaction.
So I'm giving you my opinion. It says he's not an artist, he's a thug, and I'm entitled to it.
What gets me about all of this, let me be clear, and unintentionally, wearing another top tier MC. What gets me every time is how there's a lot of reactionary content when it comes to this stuff, and really we need to understand that there are levels to this. The first is this demographic, all right, is older. And I'm not saying older people are out of touch. What I'm saying is this older demographic that Fox News has were led into these different shows by the Rush Limbaughs, by the Don Imuses. You really think that they're going to hear a Kendrick Lamar record or see the Super Bowl performance? Some of those clips, by the way, of Janine Pirro, I'm blanking on the dude's name at Newsmax, that I didn't even include, which were derogatory and baseless in the way that they covered that performance. Nonetheless, do you really think that the Rush Limbaugh-esque audience is really going to have a change of heart once they hear a record like Damn, or they hear To Pimp a Butterfly, or GNX? No, of course they won't. So first off, you already have people who are ingratiated to despise this entire industry. The second is they cannot understand, fathom, comprehend, wrap their bigoted minds around what it means to be, let me make sure my camera angle is good, to be any part of this, okay? They have no idea what any of this stuff means. Intentionally, of course, intentionally. So when you see the Ronnie Jacksons, congressman, who blames hip hop for gun violence, and then you see guys like Bill O'Reilly who are going out there calling some of these dudes the T word, which I think is derogatory and is slur adjacent, where I won't say it. Starts with a T, ends with a G. We have to understand that this is intentional. They have tried for decades now, under the leadership of Roger Ailes and under the direction of the head man, Rupert Murdoch, is try and take the pressure and onus off of, for example, in O'Reilly's diatribe against Cameron and Dame Dash, protecting children, when they have nothing to say about Gaza. They have nothing to say about school shootings. They have nothing to say about how the top 1% is stealing wages from other classes in society that are going to wreck homes nationwide, which will lead to kids being taken advantage of throughout this capitalistic system. That is something that they don't want to talk about. But instead, what do? Kendrick, Ludacris, Cameron, Dame Dash, Lupe Fiasco, just to name a few. Because this serves as the key distraction. It is not about saying, you know what really is the problem is, but what the problem is, lax gun laws. No. The problem is that the gun laws are fine. It's the music is the problem. Because the music is the one that's illegally smuggling, for example, in my state of Illinois, illegally smuggling guns from neighboring states, bringing them in. And the album cover is actually pulling the trigger. It's not the fact that we enabled this nationwide. So I call BS, but then again, to be clear, this is something that they do routinely, in order to protect corporate interests. Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYTsports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.